Hey friends, I'm Ash.
I'm Elle.
We are Lovey Cosplay.
This is Shit Cosplayers Say, and we just returned from Anime St. Louis. But we also have some really exciting news about the International Cosplay League. There is another new team.
Uno mas team. Yay. So, Team Switzerland was chosen over Easter weekend at Polymanga. The solo was Naroka Cosplay, and the duo team is Nijiko and Chisana Cosplay. For those of you that are contest junkies like I am, Nijiko and Chisana were also the 2019 representatives for the International Cosplay League, and they did Tulio and Miguel and Tulio from the Road del Dorado.
We're very excited that there are teams, because more teams means a higher likelihood that we're finally going to get this over with.
Let's do this.
Woo!
I'm excited.
I'm ready.
New friends.
New friends.
But yeah, so we went to a con.
We did.
Both of us.
We did.
We didn't get COVID right before the con or anything.
We didn't.
We both got to attend said con in person.
We both attended. I was actually done with my costume before the convention.
Which is amazing.
I also created a garment that looks the same on the inside as the outside.
Which is also amazing.
Which I'm sure you've all heard me talk multiple times that I am not a sewist. I may need to stop saying that. I'm not sure. It's pretty clean. I'm not gonna lie.
It's very pretty.
It's very clean.
It's very pretty to look at.
That would be Nine's vest. I will post pictures of the inside and the outside prior to the beads and the rhinestones. You legit could not tell the difference. There you go. Hashtag goals.
Pat on the back.
You did better.
Go L.
For yourself. You did better.
So I did. Because of course, if it can't go wrong, it will go wrong. And that was just the story of these costumes in general, as we talked about in our update like months ago. I will say, though, we had an achievement unlocked this time. We were able to put full body photos of us wearing the costumes in our build book,
and
which we have never done before.
And we did not print our build book at the con. So
no.
These photos were taken before the con and printed before the convention.
That's true. There were no sewing machines to be had.
Nope.
Nope.
Nope, no sewing machines in the hotel room. So our next goal is to be completely done with both costumes.
Done.
Like done. Which, I mean, granted, the next time we compete is Spain, which is wild to think about. But
that is really weird.
The next time we compete, it's Spain and we have to be done. Like, well, there is no not being done.
We've talked several times about doing a photo shoot prior to Spain, in which case they will definitely be done because they have to be. Although technically they already exist. So I don't know if Spain really counts for this because the costumes already exist.
Okay, so the skit needs to be perfection.
Beautiful. Mwah, chef's kiss.
We need to not crunch the skit. Because that's what we have a bad habit of doing now, is crunching the performance because we're more confident in our ability to do that than the sewing. So now we need to not, because last time we competed for ICL, we totally crunched that performance. We need to not crunch our new performance.
Right.
So that it can be magical.
Well, because we also have to consider that we have to do the video and we have to build our set pieces around whatever we choose for Performance 2.0, and those need to be able to pack very well.
Yes. So we'll be heading right into our work for ICL. I already started redoing some of Judar's jewelry and different pieces, getting ready to figure out the new wig rig. So we're just gonna...
Wig rig.
The wig rig.
Say that 3 times fast.
Not wig. Wig rig.
Wig rig. Wig rig.
Not Team ICL 2019 for the USA.
I just think you need to say it like a tongue twister.
Or 2020. But no, they were 2019.
They were 2019.
2020.
We were in 2020. And 1 and 2.
But yes, we went to a con. It was really hot.
It was freakishly
90
warm.
degrees outside.
What is wrong with you, Midwestern weather?
In Missouri. We were like, what is this? And I thought that the world was going to blow over because the wind was destroying everything.
It really was.
It was awful.
There was so much like freakish wind. Well, this is one of the cons that has been dubbed Tornado Con because they have had tornadoes multiple years during the con.
Yeah, and this is tornado season, so that's not unheard of that could have occurred.
Not the time that we went together before, but the time I went to this con before that, we actually had to go hide like in a closet because there were tornadoes.
Yes.
Yep. So much wind.
Well, and
freakishly warm weather.
I thought we were being smart, and I used Marriott points because there's a Fairfield literally like a hop and a skip from this convention center, right? Not knowing it was going to be 1, 90 degrees, and 2, ridiculous winds. Windy. It was like I would have paid because the embassy is far superior to this Fairfield that we stayed in.
Oh, it is. The Fairfield was so old.
The Fairfield, that is the smallest hotel room I've ever had. Like, I thought the Hyatt in Rosemont had tiny rooms. No.
You got nothing on this.
This room was so small. Like, I mean, it was a king room because that's what they had. But, oh my God, it was so tiny. There would have been no way we could have gotten a third person in that room. Like,
There's no floor space.
There was no floor space. There was nowhere to move. We couldn't rehearse in the room because the room was way too small.
No.
Like, just not.
We tried. It was really funny.
It was terrible. It was like, yeah, this seemed like a good idea to save some dollars, but probably should have just gotten the embassy.
It's okay.
Because then, of course, we went into our friend Oddly Cosplay's embassy room, and it's massive. Like, the living room space is the size of our entire hotel room.
Yes,
it
really was.
Yep, superior. We've always liked embassies, though, so that doesn't really surprise me.
I mean, I do really like embassies. I do like free, too, though.
I do like free, and since we have some very expensive cons coming up in our future here, we were trying to go low budget, because C2 is pricey, and Spain will be pricey because they don't pay for the entire time that we're there.
Yeah. Just the part that we actually have to be there for the contest.
And then we've got probably another one later in the fall that's also pricey. So, and we're hoping to travel next year. So, we were just trying to save some dollars.
Speaking of C2, if we haven't already talked about it, we might end up running like 4 things, but we're waiting on official confirmation, so we'll let you know.
Yes, we will let you know. I got nominated to be the main contact for the She Prop programming for C2E2. So, yeah!
Is that like one step above being voluntold?
I mean, I kind of asked for it.
I know you did.
I made a post about trying to, because one thing we'd really like to start doing for conventions is to moderate, like, guest panels. And, we've done some of that before, but that's definitely something that we're interested in doing. And it was like, does anyone know any opportunities for this? And their main coordinator was like, you could just run the ones for us at C2 if you want to. And I was like, sweet. We kind of already did that last year, so... Sounds good to me. So,
Elle got promoted.
I did. So, 2 panels and the meetup, and then we still submitted Shit Cosplayers Say. So, we could be very busy. Very, very, very busy at C2E2.
I mean, we went to all that same stuff this year.
I was like, last year we did all this anyway.
Yeah, we went to both panels and the meetup and our live show anyway.
So, now the only difference is that I'm in charge of it. So
we should find out if they submitted the podcast meetup, because we could do that too.
No. I'll go.
We're gonna go
anyway.
We're gonna go anyway.
They were planning on, Chicago Podcasters was planning on doing it because I had asked. We do not need 5. They're gonna be like, who are these crazy people submitting 5 panels to our show?
I mean, I don't think so. They won't ask. They print us on their After Dark stuff.
That's true. We've worked for you. Just bring us back again. And
read Popeye.
Read Popeye. It's fine. Speaking of things that we thought would be fine but weren't, we wore costumes on Friday, and that was a poor choice.
We tried so hard.
We were so tired, and we were like, we should just wear these. But the problem is, so that... good for the con, but very unexpected. This convention had like 2,000 to 3,000 more attendees than they expected.
Yeah, they blew up, and I think they ended up with over 7,500, and they were not expecting that.
You couldn't move. It was like shoulder to shoulder in this itty-bitty convention center.
Yeah,
so
Friday was really congested.
We were like, well, yeah, so Friday we attempted to wear costumes, but what we didn't realize, and the con did not realize, is that this convention ended up with like 2,000 to 3,000 more people than they were expecting, right? So you are like shoulder to shoulder crammed in this itty bitty convention center.
That's weird.
And so we're like, well, we brought Demon Slayer, so we should wear them, but those costumes are really hot.
Yeah, I think the post I read online said they blew up and had like 7,500. So congestion.
Right. Look, we're wearing a popular costume, and we're wearing costumes on a Friday.
Well, because they're all polyester. And we were walking around going, look at us being cool and hip and wearing cosplay on Friday. We went to the dance on Friday. They had balloons. So we played with the balloons. Really, we were just creeping on the stage to see what it looked like for Saturday.
Because we also had our live show that evening. Highlights include finally getting rickrolled by an audience member and random attendee who had also been at Anime Iowa, but in Missouri. What?
Missouri and Iowa are adjacent.
I mean,
most people don't have to drive from Iowa to Illinois and then back into Missouri to get there. It was just
really funny because the connection happened through Ragbri. And they were telling us the story of like, oh, there was this convention center and then this bike thing happened, and I just looked them dead in the eyes and went, Ragbri? And they were like, what? And I'm like, Anime Iowa? And they're like, yes!
And everybody else in the room is like, Ragbri? Is that like, that's like some sort of secret code word, magic spell?
Yeah, it was pretty entertaining.
I think the Rickroll might be the best thing ever,
The Rickroll was the best thing that's ever happened so far for the singing. Like this, so the singing dare is one of my favorites because you never know what you're gonna get, and I love that this guy Rickrolled us.
Yeah, we have a dare on our board that says serenade us with the song of your choice. So it came up on stage, and I gave him my mic, and he Rickrolled L.
It made me really happy.
It made me really happy.
And then we all sang, and it was great.
It was good.
It was a small but mighty show. So this convention was extremely young.
Yeah.
And then on top of it, they had all their 18 plus programming at the same time.
It was also like 11.
And it was 11 o'clock at night. And the convention center closes at midnight.
I would have been in bed if we had not had a show.
And our neighbors were doing like a ship this show, so that's hard to like.
A trashy shipping panel.
Which, granted, if I was in high school and 18, I would be at the trashy shipping panel, obviously.
1,000%.
This convention was extraordinarily young, though. I was like, I am too old to be here. I am not 13. I need to not be at this con, so that was awkward. I think it's because we haven't been at a con with a very young attendee base not working in a really long time.
Oh, maybe the last time we went to Anime St. Louis, because we also hung out with a bunch of young people then, but that was also like 8 years ago.
Right. We were much younger then.
Yes. Because do you remember we were playing that game outside?
Yes. I wasn't even 30 when we went to St.
There's a big circle of Hatalia cosplayers, and we were playing some sort of game outside in the parking lot.
Yes.
I don't even remember what it was. But
I don't remember
everybody
either.
there was a baby.
Yes. It's like, yeah, this is awkward. Yep. I am too old to be here. But that's okay, I guess, because we're already here. So
It's all good.
it was fine. I mean, we got to hang out with Oddly Cosplay. They're always a joy to hang out with. They made a fabulous Stolas from Hell of a Boss, so go check it out. The mask is pretty wild.
Yes.
I enjoy it. And as, you know, if it can go wrong, it will go wrong. This contest had some of those growing pains, as we kind of guessed, things were going to run late, as you do.
Yes.
In their defense, though, the show got moved up by like an hour within like the month of the convention.
Yeah.
So I think they were planning on having more time. Because we had also, when we went to check in, we're told we were going to get rehearsal and everything, and then we didn't get that either.
Yeah.
So I think there was some sort of miscommunication with like time, and things. And I know that the gentleman running it was kind of thrown in last minute. Bless Jake from State Farm.
He tried hard.
He tried so hard. We call him Jake from State Farm because all the staff shirts are red.
Yes. And his name is
Jake. That poor man. Bless him. He tried so hard.
You did a great job, honey.
He did a great job. I just kept, every time he'd pass, it's going to be like, you're doing great. And he'd be like, I want to cry. Every time. And I'm like, it's okay. You're doing great.
Yeah.
It's almost over. You can do it. Because as people who have been blindsided and thrown into running contests before, it's a tough job. Those are hard shoes to fill.
I mean, even when you know that it's coming, it's still
hard shoes to fill.
A job. Like, I did my first coordinator spot in like 2004, and it was a lot then, and I can only imagine it's worse now.
Yeah, so we need to give Jake a raise because
yes, I don't remember who said it. Somebody said Jake from State Farm, and then it just kind of stuck.
It just stuck. I mean,
everybody knew who we were talking about, though.
So it was one of those where like it had issues, but no issues that were like so major that it was like, oh my god, you can't believe this happened. Like they're just normal, not super prepared contest issues that contests have. I mean, it's just a thing.
Yeah,
like
it just was what it
really
was.
A big deal. Like, yeah, we didn't get to rehearse on stage, which throws me off, but that's because I have auditory processing issues. So if I don't get to hear our music in a larger space beforehand, it really throws me off when we perform. Because my brain has used to the dissonance that happens in big spaces, but there wasn't anything we could do about it. They had the judges judging in the main stage space, so while they're judging, we can't have our music playing.
Right. Otherwise, they have to stop judging, and if they were already an hour behind, obviously they don't want to stop judging so that we can have 15 minutes on the stage.
Them being able to continue their job is far more important than us getting to run through our skit with our audio on the stage. It just is. I mean,
like, because that would have been my only complaint, was the fact that some people got to record or rehearse with their audio and some people didn't. But in the grand scheme of things, it's not the end of the world.
It's not. It's just, it's always a thing that's hard for me. And as I'm getting older, it's harder. So, but not a huge deal. I mean, in the grand scheme of things. And obviously, like, all the other contestants and the judges are more important than us getting to run our skit with our audio. So, like,
bless Jake and bless, I didn't catch the other gentleman's name, but the guy who actually showed us the stage and walked us up there,
yes, he was very
also
kind.
Very kind and very knowledgeable about what he was going through. And yeah, it was good. All the staff we interacted with were awesome.
I mean, in general, this contest had a lot of positive energy. Just everyone was so nice. It was weird. I mean, because like, our experience is not that in most cases. There's usually a few bad apples in the bunch who are cranky and side-eyeing you and getting ready to come up with what plot they're going to tell the, cosplay coordinator about you doing XYZ. So, because they're mad that you won an award, like, that's our experience with anime convention contests. It just is. I mean, it's been every one that we've ever done has been like that, except this one. Like, everybody was just happy to see each other and talking about each other's costumes and looking at everybody's costumes. And, like, it was just really nice, happy energy.
It was very refreshing.
It was. And I'm hoping that maybe that's going to be, I mean, from what I'm hearing from other people who are competing in areas that we used to compete, those areas are still kind of doing the same thing they did before. But this is not a area of the country that we normally compete in. So maybe the Missouri community is just way more positive. Like,
I mean,
I don't know. It could be.
There were a handful of us making those comments while we were there about just how awesome it was. And we were all just kind of wondering if this is this particular contest, this particular community, or if because of COVID, like, we just miss it so much that we're just so like happy and relieved to finally be back into doing some sort of sense of normalcy when it comes to cosplay competitions, that we just left all the rest of the BS behind.
I mean, maybe that was it. I don't know. I was actually sad that everything went so fast.
Yes,
that we didn't get to talk to anyone.
Well, the quote unquote issues like were all pre-contest. Like once they lined us up, it was so efficient. I was like, how is this contest over already?
Well, because we did start late, so then they had very limited amount of time to get that contest done. So,
but we were still done in like an hour.
Yes.
It was really fast.
Yeah, I mean, we still ended at the time we were supposed to end, but we were also supposed to have started like 30 plus minutes before that. So, you know, but that's sometimes what you got to do. I mean,
it was very efficient.
It was very efficient, but the sad part was we didn't get really talk to anybody because it was over and we were very close to the end of the show. So,
yes. Yeah.
You know.
So we didn't have that time like back in the green room before awards because we were like the next to last thing.
Yeah, so we didn't get to really chat much with too many people.
Just the people pretty much on either side of us.
Right, for the most part.
Yeah.
And now we have a giant backdrop of Chibi Moon and Sailor Saturn that I don't know what to do with.
Just hanging on the wall.
Yeah, I guess that's what I'm going to do with it. I don't know. We do have video of our performance, which we will post on our Instagram once I get it converted. Yeah, I mean, it was okay. We're very critical of our performances. It was nice to be back on stage.
Yeah, our whole goal, which we posted about this a little bit on social media, our whole goal was just to get on stage and practice before Spain, so we definitely achieved that.
It was one of those where we had 90 seconds to do something, and there's only so much you can do. So,
yep,
we found something, and we did it.
And we did it.
There we go.
Mission accomplished.
You know, it was all good. Yeah, I mean, that was the mission, so we did the mission. Our judges were X Shadow, Melinda Chan, and Akaki Oga. The MC was the lovely Yaya Han. We haven't seen Yaya in ages.
Yes.
So she looks just the same as she did 20 years ago. She is not aged. Like, at all. Looks exactly the same. Guys, Yaya used to be just a normal convention attendee at Anime Central, just like us 20 years ago.
Once upon a time.
So, I mean, people knew who she was. I mean, she was the well-known cosplayer back then.
Yeah, like I vaguely have a recollection of when she started her business, selling like like cat ears and wings. Right,
exactly. Yeah. Exactly. The awards for Anime St. Louis, which took us a while to track down. So the bad part about being in the show is you don't know who won because we were jammed backstage and we couldn't hear anything.
Yep.
So nobody had any clue what anyone won, and so I had to go hunt it down afterward on social media to try to figure out who got what and who was in the show with us because we didn't know. So that was interesting because I'm not used to having to like... Best in Show was Forging S'mores, and they did a Flemeth from Dragon Age. I love every rendition I see of this costume. We've judged a lot of this costume on and off. It's always a fun costume to see. The details are fantastic on this. Definitely go look them up. They're going to be kicking some butt in some Monster Hunter and Anime Central. So definitely check out that build. It's pretty sweet. But I really love the detailing on this costume. All the little cracks and nooks and things in the armor was really fun to look at.
And the wig work.
Yes, that wig is fabulous. But I love wigs. Flemeth's got a pretty wild looking wig. So it's definitely a different look, kind of a complicated design. We were Best Masters for Anime St. Louis.
Dance
around. Yeah.
With your vest that was as clean on the inside as it was on the outside.
With my vest that was as clean on the inside as on the outside. Yeah. This is our first craftsmanship award where we both made our costumes almost completely separately. I mean, I did your wig, so I actually made more costume than you did. You
did make more than I did.
I actually made more of this costume set than you did.
You did, because
so
you did my wig.
That's also a first. But typically, Ash will have done, like, all of the sewing, and I'll have done everything else. And this time we didn't do it that way. So
we also weren't originally planning on competing in these.
No, these were not intended for competition at all. It was one of those where it's like, well, we want to make these. We should probably get on stage again. Anime St. Louis is convenient.
Yep.
Let's go. Sounds good. So Best Journeyman was actually a group. from Fire Emblem Three Houses. It was a family. So they're like cousins, I believe, is what she said. But Tanith Art is the main Instagram for this group. They looked fantastic. Lots of pretty details. Best novice was 8-Bit Dog Cosplay, which they did Sakuzo Chocolate. Yeah, a novice did a Sakuzo. And it was actually decently done. And you all know what, Sakuzo is not necessarily my favorite thing, but they did a really nice job.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was a nice looking costume. Don't know who got best performance. We know it was a group, the only group out of the performance entries. We don't know what they did. It was a combination of different fandoms, but we didn't get to see it, and we were not able to hunt them down online, so we have no idea what they did. So St. Louis does how much time you get by how big your group is. So they were also the longest skit out of all the skits, because everybody else's was 90 seconds, and they had up to 3.5 minutes.
Yeah, because singles and duos get 90 seconds.
Yes, which, St. Louis, if you hear this, please change that, because you should just give all your performers the same amount of time.
Yeah, you could just average it out.
It's not, someone who has 3.5 minutes is going to have more time to build a plot than anyone who has 90 seconds. So it shouldn't be based on how many people you have. I don't know why cons do that. But we don't know what they did. The judges seem to really like it, but we have no idea what they did. I'm sure it was good. I just don't know what it was, because we didn't get to see it. They were on stage while we were walking back, so we didn't get to see what they did. We were able to find some of the judges' choices. Yui from Avatar: The Last Airbender was Itchy Ate Itchy Spider.
I loved this.
They had embroidered koi on the back of the costume. I loved the
koi.
It was really pretty.
Yes. Moon and ocean spirits.
Yes.
Please.
It was lovely. The Must Be Dead cosplay did Destiny from Talked Op Destiny. It was a red, like this pretty red dress with some black detailing. But again, we didn't really get to talk to anyone. There were a couple people we did get to talk to, though, that we got to, like, actually interact with. Demon Cerberus, who had been on and off the, like, St. Louis forums, had been making a Belle dress from the new movie Belle.
It was very pretty in person.
It was really pretty in person. I really enjoyed seeing her progress on the St. Louis Cosplay Unite page. So it was really just nice to see this costume in person. It was definitely as lovely as it was online. Strawberry Tarot was the adorable wedding peach. She was super sweet, and I felt her pain because corsets are murder. I felt for her.
Yeah.
But she looked fantastic in that dress. It was a joy to meet Sakura Shonen.
Yes.
Who I believe was doing one from Love Live, but I'm not 100% sure. Because again, we don't really get to talk to anyone.
And we couldn't hear any of their intros.
But it was definitely an idol cosplay. Very nicely made. They were just a joy to meet backstage. Yeah. Very friendly, very bubbly. They were on the cosplay contest at Anime Crossroads. But yeah, they were a lot of fun to meet backstage. I hope we run into them again at some point in time. And then we were in line next to another performance duo. So Elliot and Biddy are actually an idol dance group, Kirameki Magic. So they were just, I love them. They also did Madoka Magica, and they were our Madoka, like, pairings.
I know. We're like, look at us in our matching colorways.
Because there's no way that Saturn and Chibiusa did not inspire Madoka and Homura. It's so obvious when they stand next to each other, and you're just like, oh, look.
Yes.
Huh.
We had a nice little, like, laugh when we were standing next to our backdrop that had Saturn and Chibi Moon on it, and they were standing next to us. And we're like, huh. We should have all, like, stood around and did the Spider-Man meme where we're all pointing at each other.
We just like, no, they were a lot of fun to chat with and talk about our various performance adventures for the next year. So you can find them at Elliot Koss and Biddybug Koss to see what they're going to be up to next.
And we will have links for you in the show notes for all the things.
As usual, we will have links for everybody so you can find everyone and see their costumes and see their pictures and all the things. We also had someone who graciously went and found a fun fact for us from the live show. I don't remember all the details about how we got onto a fun fact rant during this live show to the point where I'm like...
It should not shock any of you that we went on a tangent and ended up in this place.
We went on a tangent that became a new category that I want to have, which is fun facts. Which literally could be anything. But we had gotten on a tangent about, like, when I was in, like, high school and college, one of the big drinking games was how many times Kagome says, Inuyasha! Right? And then so we were all debating, does she say Inuyasha more often than Deku cries? Which I don't have the answer for that exactly yet. However, Sailor Texas Raccoon found the answer for Inuyasha, which is, over the course of Inuyasha, the final act in 4 movies, Kagome calls out Inuyasha a total of 484 times. Inuyasha calls out to Kagome a total of 267 times. Ta-da.
I love it.
Fun fact.
Beautiful.
This needs to be a category.
Yeah.
Fun facts. We also got to do dad jokes category. Which
yeah,
great.
we did. That was amazing.
It was so good.
Our special categories have all been hits so far. So
I love that. Dad jokes might just have to be a category. I just enjoyed that one.
I don't know. I still particularly like Gundam. It was weird though because we were done with the masquerade so soon.
Well, so this masquerade wasn't at like 7 p.m. It was at like 4 o'clock.
It was scheduled for 3.
Or 3 o'clock. So...
And we had already like gone back to the room and changed out of clothes and taken showers and went... So we said the Fairfield is a hop and a skip. Well, the hop takes you to the Cracker Barrel. So we went the hop and the skip, changed clothes, took a shower, and then hopped back to the Cracker Barrel to eat by like 6 o'clock.
I know, that was weird.
Yeah.
We also had to try to our original plan had been to actually record this at the convention, but we were missing like all the information we needed.
Yeah, it did not
actually
happen.
Do the rest of this episode. And then we were like, well, we could just record our episode that comes after that, and it didn't happen because
it did not happen.
We had a photo shoot at the Missouri Botanical Gardens at 9:30 a.m.
You know, we always go into these things with the best of intentions.
We do. It doesn't happen, though. So we had to be out of our hotel by 9 a.m. because we needed to be in St. Louis by 9:30 to shoot at the Botanical Gardens.
Yeah, which is only like a half hour away.
Yes, and we shot with Jessica Weiss Photography, who was looking to get some more experience with cosplayers. So we were like, yeah, let's do this. We're here. Like, I want to shoot in a Japanese garden with Demon Slayer.
Please?
Like, no, I do not want to take Demon Slayer to Japanese garden.
This is a great plan.
Yeah, no, it was an amazing plan. 10/10 would recommend do it.
Absolutely.
Best part of the trip.
Oh, it absolutely was.
By
so
far,
good.
Was going to shoot. And the photographer's having just as much fun as we are, which is always like the best shoots come when your photographer's having just as much fun as you are. It makes it so much better.
Like, even if you don't get amazing photos, like, just the fact that y'all had fun together just makes it that much better.
Yeah, it just makes it... Because even when you get, like, amazing photos, but you didn't have a good time, the photos are, like, tainted in some way. Like, it's just not... It's not the same.
Yep.
I mean, we got a little bit of both, so it was great. But yes, we took Tamioka and Shinobu to the Japanese garden, and we got to feed some gigantic koi.
I mean, that's how big koi get.
Those really big koi.
Yes.
I don't think I've been that close to full-sized koi.
Yeah,
because
that's what
literally they
happens
could have like bit my fingers off if they wanted to.
When you have fish in an environment where they're not overpopulated and are allowed to, you know, live their best life.
These were like 2 to 3 feet long. They were huge.
Yeah, koi get really big.
And they very much wanted a snack.
They did. So did that poor turtle.
That turtle tried hard. He just did not get a snack. He couldn't
slow.
He couldn't do it. The koi were too big. There were too many. We definitely do have a photo of us trying to feed the koi, though.
The turtle was shockingly way too slow, so
yeah,
he got there after all the food was gone.
Yeah, the turtle couldn't do it.
He was
tried,
sad.
but it couldn't.
I will say we did achieve another achievement with our trying not to con crunch the way we did before, and that is despite the fact that my chiropractor appointment was canceled 2 weeks in a row prior to the convention, I still didn't have a pinched nerve.
Nice.
For the first time in forever. I did not abuse my body.
That's good. That's a good way to roll.
I approve.
I feel like, though, now we're like, we need to go back to the Japanese garden to shoot Genshin Impact.
I mean,
because the whole time we're running around, we're going, Genshin?
Genshin?
Genshin? Because there's also a Chinese garden, too. So it's like, Genshin?
There are so many gardens.
Genshin?
We walked through like 3 different gardens.
We did, because we basically walked the whole thing and took pictures as we went.
As you do.
So it was a longer experience than I expected, but, you know, that was fine because we were having a good time.
It was nice. It was good. It was fun.
But yes, as we're walking through them, I'm just like, Genshin? Genshin? I don't know if they'd let us come in Genshin costumes, though. Because it's family-friendly place, and Genshin is a little, yeah.
Yeah.
Not Ganyu. Ganyu wouldn't be allowed in. No. They wouldn't let me in Ganyu. It'd have to be Ningguang.
I was going to say probably not Beidou either, so...
Maybe not. We might have to give you pants.
Pants?
Yes. Might need pants.
I just need to order some, like, leather pants.
Yes, leather pants for Beidou, and then we can come in. I do like that some people asked us if we were doing a show.
Yeah.
Because we were in costumes. And obviously, so I've seen a bunch of photos now on Facebook. A bunch of people went and shot there that weekend.
Good.
So it's not
not just
completely
us.
unheard of. No.
Yeah.
But I know that they get uppity about certain costumes. And I think it has to do with how well you're covered, because it is a family-friendly place. So.
Oh, could be.
You just need leather pants.
Yeah.
We'll see. We have a lot of other costumes we need to have shot.
Yeah.
So, like our ICL costume. Well, there's really not a Japanese garden anywhere near here for us to do that with, so. There's one not super far from you. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, so that was our adventure to St. Louis.
Our excursion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our con excursion. And now we don't have a con for like months.
That's okay. Then we have 2 cons and then ICL. So
I know. It's like no con. Too big con. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm gonna die. Those 2 cons need to not be 2 weeks apart from each other.
Maybe alright.
It's fine. This is fine.
It's fine. At least there's no Ragbri.
No, there should not be Ragbri.
There is no Ragbri.
That's good.
It's the wrong weekend for Ragbri.
Oh, good.
Yep.
Good. We will not deal with Ragbri.
Not this year.
Convention that we're going to in July that I don't think we're allowed to announce yet what we're doing. So.
That sometimes has Ragbri.
That sometimes has Ragbri.
You can take whatever you
all
want
know
out of that
going.
conversation.
I mean, you all know where we're going.
Do you want to sign a contract?
Do you want to sign a contract?
Yeah. But we did
sign our contract. We have to send in our writer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been requested.
So if you have any suggestions for our writer for that con that we signed a contract for.
So if you don't know what a writer is, it's a list of requests that performers and entertainers will give for various reasons. Sometimes it's legit things that they need, and sometimes it's used to like just make sure that the whole contract and everything was read, honestly. But the joke behind writers are like the really silly things like, I only want red M&Ms, or I need like, you know, water cooled at this specific temperature. Like that, those are like the silly things that you hear about for like writers. So we're supposed to give a writer of ridiculous things. Yep. I'm pretty sure, well, we had refrigerator, but we already have one.
We did. We had green M&Ms, Crystal Pepsi. Yep.
Armchairs.
Main stage.
I don't think main stage we can put on the writer. We can put it. We can see if we can get it.
This is what negotiations are for.
We are trying to get main stage.
Yeah, armchairs was part of it.
Armchairs was on there. We need more things for our writer.
Yes.
So if you've got anything, let us know.
Yep.
We'll throw it on there.
Do it.
But I think that's all we have for this episode.
Though we did not record in the hotel room.
No. That would have been efficient. It just didn't happen.
It would have been efficient, but we were not, alas.
No.
Maybe next time we will be efficient.
Maybe. It's always hard when you have something on Sunday.
Yeah.
To be able to record the episode for the con before you leave the con. Because you basically have to omit whatever you're doing on Sunday from the episode. So
yeah,
that does make it a little bit harder.
But it's been fun, guys. We will get out of here. So as promised, we've got our sandbagging episode coming up. We've got more guests coming your way to talk about more amazing things. We love you. We'll talk to you later. This is Ash.
And Elle.
And we are Lavi Cosplay.
And this is Shit Cosplayers Say. You've been listening to Shit Cosplayers Say, an LVC production. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Podcast SCS. Our website is lavicosplay.com. Have a fun, crazy con or cosplay-related story, absurd cosplay question, or just something in general to share with us? Email us at podcastscs@gmail.com. Thank you for listening, and remember, just because you can doesn't mean you should.